The football at their own 39-yard line after returning the kick to that spot. Chris Anderson's the quarterback, closing in on 1,000 yards throwing. The power there is shown by Keeney, 6 yards on first down as he just plunged forward. He has over 1,300 yards, averaging 7 yards a pop and 18 TDs.
Not much of a hole that time, Jeff, but Keeney doesn't need much space. He is very strong. He has really blossomed this year as an outstanding tailback here in the county.
Only a junior. He has a new blocking back, Ben Nelson. Nelson out in front. Here's Keeney going for the first down and into Walkersville territory. Down to the 47-yard line, a gain of 8 yards. So Keeney with 14 yards on 2 carries, right along with his average 7 yards a pop.
Now, Ben Nelson is the up back this week. As we talked in pregame, Scott Harshman out with an injury. That time Ben got just enough peace to allow Josh Keeney to get to the outside and pick up that first down.
So the Knights on the move already. They're 9-0 on the season, 8-0 in the MVAL. First down from the Walkersville 47, Anderson to the air. Completes the pass to Brooks Moser, a gain of only 2 on the play. Moser making his 23rd reception of the year. He has 4 touchdowns.
Very, very, very solid tight end. There's lots of good receivers in the county this year, but I think Brooks Moser is right there with the best of them. 6'2", 195 pounds. He's a senior, and as we mentioned earlier, is a Baltimore Touchdown Club 2001 All-Star nominee.
So it'll be second down, call at 9 for the Knights, just outside the 45. This is Keeney again. Nice hole. Keeney breaking tackles and is finally brought down from behind at the 28-yard line. The hit made by Nick Collette, but big yardage again for Mr. Keeney.
Well, some outstanding line play by the Middletown offensive line, and then once again some great running by Josh Keeney. Really nifty little cutback that time allowed him to gain those extra yards. He is a quality running back.
18 more yards for Keeney on that carry. He has 32 yards already. He's closing in on 1,350 for the season. Ball at the Walkersville 28, 1st and 10, Middletown. Keeney again following Nelson. Down to the 21, gain of 7. So Keeney so far unstoppable. Middletown leading the series against Walkersville 17-6, and they've won the last 4 between these two teams. The Knights beat South Hagerstown last week in a game that wasn't close. They've had a solid season, been almost perfect this year to this point, looking to gain more momentum going into the playoffs. Anderson's pass almost picked off by Collette. He couldn't hang on.
Well, if Nick Collette had been able to hang on to that one, I think it'd be 6-0 Walkersville. There was not anybody between him and the goal line, but Nick not able to hang on to that pass from Chris Anderson. So
the Knights got a break there. Brings up 3rd down and 3. They need to get to the 18-yard line. Keeney wrapped up from behind. And then friends come in to help. Jason Stamball made the initial stick for Walkersville to stop Keeney short of the first down.
A good effort by Stamball that time. He's a big guy, but as are many of these Walkersville Lions, they are young, Jeff. It's a very young team dominated by juniors. Of course, that great offensive backfield that they have with the sophomore and the junior. So sets up a 4th down situation, clearly in 4-down territories for the Knights. Let's see what Tim Ambrose calls.
Ryan Cutzeo in the game, 2 fullbacks, leading Keeney, who surges forward for the first down. So Josh Keeney takes it inside the 15-yard line. First down again for the Knights.
Well, you may stop him once, but be hard-pressed to stop this big, tough kid a couple of downs in a row. And once again, behind that fine offensive line, and when they go big in that backfield with Nelson and Cutzale, that's a very potent force that Middletown has.
First down from the 14, the pitch to Keeney. Collette from behind takes him down for a loss of 3. So Nick Collette comes up with a big play with a stop behind the line of scrimmage. The atmosphere is incredible here tonight, Jay. There's a lot of buzzing, and the fans are just really into it. The players are into it.
Well, it's senior night here at Middletown, and there are a host of 12th graders on this year's night team, so they're excited. Let's watch it again. That's just a great play by Nick Collette. He knifed in there. Nobody really even touched him.
Nick Collette Jr., as is Keeney, who he tackled. Anderson to the air. Incomplete, intended for Hartel. He nearly had himself a touchdown, wide open.
I'm not sure that Sean Root, number 50, maybe got a little piece of that, or certainly got in the way of David Hartel's vision that time, and probably helped the incompletion.
So another third down and 13 to go. Need to get to the 4-yard line. This is Jack O'Leary, stood up by Collette and wrestled to the ground. So Collette with 2 big plays on that series after dropping what would have been possibly a touchdown on a almost interception.
Well, there's some good blood in Nick Collette. Vince Collette was an outstanding player at Walkersville, and Nick Collette has been all over the field here in the early stages of the first quarter. It's a little fake to Keeney and then a handoff to O'Leary, but Vince Collette had that read all the way and forces Middletown to go for a field goal. Now, they have a pretty good field goal kicker in O'Leary.
Yeah, he has 2 field goals on the year, 35 extra points. This one will be from 33 yards away. John Boyle to hold. And it's no good, wide left. So Walkersville's D gave up some yardage to Middletown, but they don't give them any points.
Well, that's the bend and don't break, and that's what the Lions did that time, coming up with a couple of key plays, particularly by Collette to shut down Middletown. So let's see if the Lions, with this vaunted running attack of their own, we talk a lot about Keeney, but when you combine Parker and Crawford, you've got more yardage than Josh Keeney does, you know, so these kids are pretty quick. Not big, but really quick.
Parker, a junior, Crawford, only a sophomore. That's Jimmy Finch, the wingback, getting the first call. Trying to cross him up a little bit, a minimal gain.
Well, go figure. You look for Parker, you look for Crawford, and on the first play, they go to Finch.
Walkersville's quarterback, Pete Genovese, 591 yards throwing this year and 6 TDs. Middletown used almost half the first quarter on their initial drive. Lions with a 2nd down and 10 from the 20. Genovese goes to the air for the first time. Completes the pass to Crawford, who was then hit very hard. Should be enough for the first down at the 33-yard line. Crawford we didn't see in the first game that we did with Walkersville and Brunswick. He was injured, but as you mentioned in the pregame, in 6 games he's amassed a lot of yardage on the ground.
Well, 772 yards in only 6 games. He has the highest average per carry in the county at 10 yards. And it looks like he can catch the football as well, as he comes down with a nice pass there from Pete Genovese.
First down, call it the 32. Mikos Parker with his first carry, 2 yards. Before he's hit by several Knights, including Chris Fluke and Adam Ellison, along with 45 Brooks Moser.
Parker, not that big, Jeff, at 5'7", 170, but has to be awfully strong. I bet you his legs, he probably works out a lot with weights on his legs, and he carried a couple of would-be tacklers that time.
A lot of work there for Parker's on that last play, a gain of only 2 yards, so it'll be 2nd down and 8. Mikos used the strength on that last play. Bouncing off tacklers is Crawford. First down. Crawford all the way up to the 48-yard line. A gain of 14. He just bounced off a couple of Knights and scampered upfield for a big gain.
Wow. Well, let's watch Antoine Crawford, all 5'4", 145 pounds. Look at him make you miss. That's one thing you'd expect him to do, but you wouldn't expect him to run through tacklers. But that's what he did several times on this run. Great balance and a lot of strength. And it looks like Antoine Crawford might be the real deal.
So first down for Walkersville. Both teams have been able to move the football on the ground. Mikos Parker trying to find a seam, nothing there. Brooks Moser in the middle. No gain on the play. Moser had help from Matt Johnson, number 20. Or actually, that's Cutsale, number change. Ryan Cutsale.
Well, Middletown, year in, year out, plays great defense. And this year's edition of the Knights, no different. Only averaging 7 points a game defensively. So they are a tough team to score on, but right now Walkersville is doing a very good job of moving the football.
Second down and 10 from their own 48 for the Lions. Genovese, no protection there. He's out to the 49, a gain of a yard. He felt the pressure from Chris Fluck, who made the stop. A gain of a yard for Genovese.
Chris Fluck, from his right defensive end position, really puts a lot of pressure on Pete Genovese. Watch him come from the bottom of your screen. The last pass that Pete threw, Fluck almost had him. This time he chases him out of the pocket and brings him down.
So third down and 9.5. Gain of about a half yard on that last play. Genovese has a pretty good arm. Penalty markers down before the play's inception. He threw very well against Brunswick in the first game we televised with Walkersville.
A little bit of movement, I think, in that Walkersville line, so.
Going to cost him 5 yards, back to the 44. So it'll make it a more difficult third down situation, 3rd and 14.
Yeah, Pete, a junior quarterback. He's thrown for about 600 yards coming into tonight's game, 6 touchdowns, 41% completion. He can throw, and when you run the ball as well as Walkersville can, if you can throw just a little, you can really have some success.
Big third down play. The fake to Crawford, big rush by the Knights. Genovese scrambles out of it. And then Genovese is hit for a gain of maybe a yard. So Walkersville will have to punt from the 46-yard line. So they lost 3 yards after getting a first down near the 49.
Special teams, always important. See what the Lions can do here.
Jim Reed with the kick. O'Leary from the 30. O'Leary a gain of 9 on the punt return, tackled by Chris Weddle, a 6 foot, 210-pound senior. So the Knights will have it again.
So both teams kind of feeling each other out on those first possessions. Both showed some success through the air, both showed some success on the ground, but neither able to come up with any points.
2:56 left first quarter. Josh Keeney hammers his way forward out to the 46. Gain of 6 yards on the carry. Stanball made the stop.
Talked about Parker having strong legs. Keeney has strong legs too, Jeff. He drags kids with him.
He's keeping with his average, about 7 yards a carry already tonight. He's getting near the 50-yard mark. Still in the first quarter. Second down and 4. Keeney again. Big hole. Keeney bangs forward again all the way down to the 36 of Walkersville. A gain of 18 yards for Josh Keeney. Equals his biggest run of the night.
Well, good play on the point of attack. But then it's Keeney, and once Keeney gets into the secondary, again, I think what this kid does is he has the ability to run over you or run around you, and that's that's a pretty potent combination.
He just keeps the legs motoring and doesn't stop until somebody gets him to the ground, and it's not easy. Another first down for Middletown. Keeney again. Keeney rumbles down to the 29. And a gain of about 7 more yards.
And he likes the football. He wants it every time. He pops right up. He is a workhorse.
He gets stronger as the game goes on. And more difficult to tackle.
Kind of wear you down. And he has, as I said earlier, has just exploded onto the scene this year. I don't know if Coach Ambrose realized Josh would be as prolific as he's turned out to be.
Anderson looking to throw. Big rush. Deep down the field. O'Leary's open. He slipped down inside the 10. Incomplete.
Well, David Shanuel had some pressure that time on Chris Anderson. Watch him again, number 63. Comes in and it's got a beat on Chris. Now Chris releases the ball. This is not the tight spiral you usually see, but it's right on the money, except O'Leary loses his feet, or that would have been a completed pass. So tough break for Middletown. Good break for Walkersville. Sets up a 3rd down situation.
3rd down at about 3. Keeney turns the 3rd down into a 1st down inside the 25 to the 24. Gain of 5 more yards for Josh Keeney. He moves the chains one more time.
Well, that time Ben Nelson had a Scott Harshman-like block, and that was what allowed Josh Keeney to get that 1st down. Excellent block by Nelson, and again, good, solid, tough running by Josh Keeney.
Well, the workload's gotten heavier for Keeney because Harshman carried the ball quite often. He had almost 600 yards and 6 TDs. But with him out, Keeney's going to get the ball a lot more. And Nelson more of a blocking back. Keeney breaking tackles again. Keeney inside the 15 down to the 13-yard line. 12 more yards for Keeney.
Well, Keeney has good size, Jeff, at 6 foot 200 pounds, but he runs like a kid much bigger. He tuck that ball away and just make people bounce off of him. He
punishes people.
Yeah, it really does. You know, they like to measure those runs after you've been hit. Josh Keeney would have to be at the head of the class in that statistic.
Definitely. Keeney, right side, all the way down to the 2. 11 more yards for Josh Keeney. He's closing in on 100 yards for the evening. We're still in the 1st quarter.
Well, I got to tell you, as much as you like balance in your offensive attack, the way Keeney runs the football, you're so tempted to give it to him every time. Look at Nelson with that great block again. Some good blocking downfield. That's number 74. Andrew Nicholas also getting a good block to allow Keeney to do his thing. It's Keeney time now.
1st and goal. Keeney walks into the end zone. From 2 yards out, Josh Keeney with a touchdown, his 19th of the year. And Middletown's on the board 6-0 with 29 seconds left, 1st quarter.
Well, vintage Middletown football, smash mouth football, and led by that great offensive line and some superior blocking in the backfield and the splendid running of number 44, Josh Keeney.
60-yard drive. And O'Leary for the extra point, it's not going to count. Penalty marker down before the kick. Offsides against Walkersville, so they'll move it to the 1.
Well, now Middletown.
Now they'll go for the 2, huh?
We'll go for 2, and why not? Why not with Keeney?
Walkersville hasn't been able to stop him yet.
You got to figure he's going to be able to get 1 yard.
I believe he carried the ball on every single play on that drive.
Yeah, I don't think
with the exception of an incomplete pass.
Right.
So he had 60 yards rushing on that drive. Keeney with the 2-point conversion. 8-0. Keeney unstoppable to this point.
At the 29-second mark left in the 1st quarter, Middletown 8. Walkersville.
Under a minute to play in the 1st, and the Knights are up 8-0. Walkersville's going to have to make some kind of adjustment to try to stop Keeney because he's just been able to run the ball at will so far tonight.
Well, there he is in your picture, number 44, and showing somebody on the side his left hand, but As long as there's nothing wrong with those 2 legs.
Got another arm to carry the ball.
That's right. He'll be fine. Outstanding effort by Josh Keeney. And as you said, Jeff, he's probably close to 100 yards here in the first quarter. 1,314 yards coming into tonight's game. So he's a threat at this rate to go over the 1,500-yard mark during the regular season.
Maybe in the first half.
Yeah, and that's
keeps this pace up.
That's a terrific effort.
I would say he's definitely over 1,400 now. So he had 60 yards on that drive, and I believe 30 couple on the first drive.
And again, only a junior.
So Middletown will kick off with an 8-0 lead. There's the boot. Kyle Godwin's kick taken by Mikos Parker. And Parker leveled by the kicker, Kyle Godwin. Parker looked like he might have broken that one.
Well, that's the thing you have to remember about Walkersville. They have big play capability from anywhere on the field with Mikos Parker and Antoine Crawford. So these kids are quick. Crawford 10 touchdowns in 6 games. Parker 6 touchdowns. You got to mark them. You got to be very aware of them out there on the field.
Walkersville's offense trying to answer. They trail 8-0, 1st and 10 at the 34. Genovese hands it off to Crawford. Cuts it back to the middle and out to the 41. A gain of 7 yards for Crawford on first down.
See, I think that's one of the plays where Walkersville can really do some damage. It's a very aggressive Middletown defense. And if they can get through that first wave and then cut back across the grain, there's not going to be too many defenders there. And again, with the speed that these kids have, they can literally run away from you, Jeff.
And that's the end of the first quarter. Middletown with a 60-yard TD drive culminated by Keeney's 2-yard touchdown and 2-point conversion leads it 8-0 over Walkersville.
Meet the people who bring you Frederick County's only local newscast. Susan Lee Nelson, Andrew Geiser, Elizabeth Harrington, Michael O'Connor, the Cable 10 News Team, the only news team that exclusively covers Frederick County. Look for Cable 10 News every Monday and Thursday at 5 and 7 p.m. on Cable 10, Frederick County's television news source.
Mikos Parker on the first play of the second quarter, 2 yards. Out to the 43, it'll be 3rd down at about a yard for the Lions.
Number big 61, Terry Palmer, 4-year player here at Middletown, a senior, a whole host of seniors on this Middletown squad. Terry's done a nice job for Coach Ambrose this year. 5'8", 270 pounds. He's the Tony Saragusa of the Middletown Knights this year.
3rd down and a short yard. Collette in the backfield. The pass. Fumble. And I believe Cutsale recovered it for Middletown. Walkersville's Joe Ragland made the reception and then lost the football, and Cutsale, the converted lineman on offense, makes a big defensive play.
That's a tough break for the Lions. They had the first down, but a pretty tough hit dislodged the ball, and Cutsale comes up with the recovery. So Middletown, excellent field position inside the Lion 45.
They have it at the 43. Keeney bursts through the middle, down to the 35. 8 more yards for Josh Keeney. And he's now at the 100-yard mark for the evening.
You got Andrew Nicholas downfield and Brian DeMoss. Palmer again. This is a fine offensive line. These kids do a terrific job of giving Chris Anderson time to throw when he wants to throw, but also opening up some big holes for Josh Keeney.
2nd down. Keeney again, bangs forward. 30, 25, inside the 20. Keeney another first down and a 15-yard scamper for Josh Keeney. He cannot be stopped. He's gotten the ball every play the last 2 drives. Walkersville knows it's coming, but what can they do to stop it?
Well, that's what I said. You like balance in your offense, but wow, I think I balance it the way of Josh Keeney and just keep going to the well until there's not any water left. Once again, some terrific blocking at the point of attack by Middletown.
Inside the 20, first down. Here's Nelson, the fullback. Ben Nelson's first carry. That's 3 yards down to the 16, 17-yard line before he's stopped by number 48, Nick Kaiser.
Not a bad call, though, to give Keeney a little break. Here's Keeney's touchdown. Earlier in the first quarter, really kind of an example of the type of running that he did the entire first quarter. Here he goes
Back
again.
to Keeney.
Keeney up the middle, following the lead blocking of
Keeney inside the 15 down to the 12. Pick up of 4 more yards. That looked like he didn't get much there, but he still got 4 yards on a play where it was, for the most part, contained.
Yeah, well, Middletown hasn't had too many third down situations here of late. Their down and distance have been terrific because Keeney has been exploding off the ball on the first and second down. So 3rd and about 4 here.
Yeah, 3rd and a long 3.
Can go either way.
The fake. Anderson over the middle, incomplete, intended for O'Leary. He had it in his hands. Dodd there on the coverage for Walkersville. It's 4th down. And that may mean another O'Leary field goal attempt. He's missed one earlier. Well, you see number 32. He's also the kicker.
That was nice defense that time by, I think it was Robbie Dodd. He had O'Leary fairly well defended. Jack not able to come up with the post pattern catch. Looks like Middletown's going to go for it here, figuring Keeney's good for the 3-4 yards, and if they don't make it, they've pinned Walkersville well back in their territory.
4th and a short 3. Long 3, rather. Keeney down close to the 10. He looks like he may be a little short, but it depends on the spot.
Well, he's got to get inside the 10, I think, Jeff. And
he had to get a little inside the 10, but he may be a little bit short.
And it's inside the 10, but it's close enough they're going to have to measure.
Where the sticks are placed on the sideline, he appears to be a tad short, but the chains will tell the story here in a second. That would be a big defensive stand for Walkersville if they held after a turnover. Middletown moved the ball 23 yards in 2 plays, and then the defense of Walkersville stops the Knights.
And the Wachter streak continues.
Yes. Walkersville with new life, because that could have really put them in a difficult situation, down by 2 scores, but instead it's still 8-0. The Lions have to climb the mountain here, and they have the ball at their own 10.
Well, again, that's some gamble, some risk, but that's the confidence that Coach Ambrose and staff have in their defense, and I think they can shut Walkersville down and come out of this with good field position. But again, the Lions may have something different to say about that with these 2 talented backs.
High formation, Collette the fullback. This is Parker the tailback. He crossed the 10, but not much room there. He stopped up immediately. Staub made the tackle for Middletown. It'll be 2nd down and close to 10.
As you mentioned, Walkersville has played some tough games this year, a couple of overtime games. Their record a little bit deceiving, I think, and they have played much better football of late. And right now, only down 8-0 to the undefeated Middletown Knights. They're hanging tough here.
This is Antoine Crawford. He gets some room on the outside. A 1st down run for Crawford before he's tackled by Kyle Swanson outside the 20. So Crawford gives him some breathing room and a 1st down.
He's getting up a little slow, though, and that's not a good sign. Remember, this youngster is not that big, Jeff. He's listed at 5'4", 145 pounds, and he is going out against kids a lot bigger than he, and there's some gang tackling that time by Middletown. Crawford, hopefully he's going to be okay and get back in the game. They need him.
1st down for the Lions at their own 21. Nikos Parker. having a difficult time finding running room. No gain on the play. Johnson again with the tackle.
Very tough going on the interior of that Middletown line. You mentioned Brooks Moser, outstanding tight end and a very, very good linebacker and defensive player as well.
So 2nd down and 10.5. Genovese looking to throw, has some time. Almost picked off by Brooks Moser. Kind of surprised him, the ball was right there. No Lions really around.
Now, Moser makes the read and drops back very nice. Gets his hands up and almost comes up with a circus catch. That would have been a nice catch by Moser, but the key to the play was him being properly positioned. So Walkersville, 3rd and long.
They caught a break on that one. There were 4 Knights swarming around the receiver. 3rd down. Parker takes the handoff. And Parker maybe a yard or 2 on the play before the play shut down by the Knights defense. It'll be 4th down.
So the gamble pays off. Walkersville did grind out 1 first down, so they get the ball out a little bit, but Middletown's going to get the ball back probably in the vicinity of midfield, so not a bad exchange. They've shown off their run tonight, but don't forget, Chris Anderson is a very, very gifted thrower.
Fake. Anderson throws down the middle, incomplete. The pass was there, but Moser couldn't grab it.
Sean Root 50 on the defense for the Lions. Stops the clock. 2nd down, 10, Middletown.
We just experienced some technical difficulties. We apologize. We're back now, and everything appears to be okay. Everything's okay with Josh Keeney as well. Rumbling, stumbling down to the 30-yard line for Keeney. 22 more yards and a first down into Walkersville territory.
Well, we may be having technical difficulties, but Josh Keeney and Middletown are not. And Keeney rumbles his way for another first down. He is having a huge, magnificent first half here tonight against the Lions.
Keeney up to about 125 yards with 6 minutes left in the half. Only 8-0 Middletown now. Anderson fires, completes the pass to Chris Lynham. He's down to the 15, a pickup of 17 more yards and another first down for the Knights. So Anderson closing in on a 1,000-yard passing season, needs about 10 more yards.
Well, when Anderson gets time to throw,
Linehan with the big catch.
he is like any other good quarterback.
Linehan, excuse me.
And Anderson had plenty of time to throw that time, and Linehan comes up with the big catch.
Keeney breaks free at the line of scrimmage. Keeney down to the 3. With Lions on his back. 1st and goal.
He is a very difficult kid to bring down. Other than Collette taking him down one-on-one in the first quarter, I don't think anybody's been able to get him down by themselves here tonight. It's taking lots of Walkersville defenders to bring number 44, Josh Keeney, down to the ground.
Ryan Cutzale in there at fullback, replacing Ben Nelson. 1st and goal. Keeney following Cutzale. Stood up by Collette. Collette waits for help, and Keeney down close to the goal line. So it'll be 2nd down and about a foot. They stopped him that time after a gain of 2.5.
Tough kid, too, because he just pops right up and kind of...
Give me the ball again.
I'm ready. Give it to me again, Chris. Let me go again. He's done that to perfection this year. 18 touchdowns, 19th one tonight. Going
for 20 on this play, probably.
Right here.
2nd and goal inside the 1. Knights already leading 8-0. Keeney has his 20th touchdown. No resistance. 14-0 Knights. So Keeney with 2 TDs in this game. 4:36 left in the half.
Very, very impressive is Josh Keeney and this Middletown Knight offensive attack. They run the ball awfully well.
Jack O'Leary on to try the point after touchdown. He's got it. No good. Little to the right. 14-0 Knights.
You know,
Middletown with a 52-yard drive.
Well, let's watch Keeney's touchdown again. It's going to go off the right side of the Middletown line, following Nelson, Cutsail, and also number 71, Devin Bittner, it looked like, helping to create the big hole for Josh Keeney for score number 2 of the night. You know, Jeff, it seems like there should be a lot more points on the board for Middletown. They've pretty much dominated play, but yet are only up 2 scores. And I know that's a lot, but witness our Catoctin FSK game last week. You can see where leads can finish very quickly.
Right. Well, they've had a couple of chances in the red zone where they've been unable to score. Walkersville's defense has stood tall and stopped them twice on 4th downs. Well, one time it was a field goal that they missed, and then the other time they stopped them inside the 15.
Parker, one of 2 kids back to return for Walkersville. I don't see Crawford.
He was shaken up earlier, limping off the field. Looks like Crawford, I see him on the sideline standing behind Coach Grawl. A collision between 2 Lions players at the 20, and Parker falls on it as he collided with Joe Smith. So luckily for the Lions, they maintain possession, but that could have been a dangerous play. Well, all on the ground like that.
There you have 2 kids both wanting to do a little too much, and Mikos Parker, Joe Smith, both wanting to return that football on that kick, and Parker does a smart thing. After you make a mistake, you don't want to compound it by making another. He alertly falls on the football, so the Lions get possession and pretty good field position.
Ball at the 24, 4:34 left until the break. Middletown with a 14-0 lead. Genovese, looks like a broken play, and Fluck has him corralled. Help from Cutsail. A loss for the Lions on the play.
Yeah, that was a busted play for sure, and Pete Genovese just hanging out in the wind, nowhere to go that time. So Lions will lose a couple, called about 5 yards on that play.
So 2nd down after the loss of 5, 2nd and 15 inside the 20.
Crawford is in the game now, Walk.
Okay, looks like he's shaking off that injury. And it'll be a false start against the Lions, so that'll move it back 5 more yards.
And this is not what Hal Grawl wants to see happen to his Lions right now.
Can't Middletown out like this.
Nah, you're exactly right. You can't give good teams like Middletown these extra chances.
So ball resting at the 14-yard line. 2nd down and 20. You need to get to the 34-yard line for a new set of downs. Casey Withrow out to the left side. Dodd is to the right. Genovese with the handoff. And nowhere to go. Cutsail and Moser made the stop. New ball carrier in the game for Walkersville.
You wonder now, will Middletown, with clock approaching about 3 minutes, it's 3rd down and long, so they're going to get the ball back here if they hold the Lions on this play. They're going to get the ball back in good field position and with ample time to get into the end zone before this first half is finished.
Clock rolling down to 2:47.
Yeah, they may want to call
Parker, nowhere to go.
Might want to call a timeout here, Jeff. And there you go. That's a smart play on the part of Coach Ambrose and staff.
2:36 left. They stop the clock. Now the Knights will await the punt, and they should get excellent operating position again.
Yeah, they're going to get good field position out of this. And you see Tim Ambrose talking to the troops. This has been a great turnaround year for Middletown. Last year, 6-4. Very uncharacteristic for the Knights, but what people have to remember is they started out 0-3, then won 6 of their last 7.
Right.
So
and they got revenge against all those teams this year.
They have defeated all the teams
blowout fashion
that got them last year. They have
none of them
won.
were even close.
That's right, and they have won 15 out of their last 16 games. So they are very much on a roll, and I think can be a force in the 2A states this year.
And Urbana no longer at 2A. That would make things a little bit nicer for Middletown, not having to face the Hawks, who have been moved up to 3A. So Jim Reed will punt from about the 5-yard line before it's all said and done.
They're coming. Almost got it.
A lot of heat from the Knights. O'Leary from the 42. And only about 4 yards for O'Leary. A big block. But he couldn't spur him.
Is that DeMoss, 62? Somebody had a pretty good block
it too, yeah, the boss.
So let's see what Chris Anderson and company elect to do with a couple minutes plus. Again, you got some real good receivers out there, particularly Brooks Moser.
Moser with 1 catch in the game, 23 on the year. I formation. Nelson and Keeney, the fake to Keeney. Little screen pass to Brooks Moser. He's got blockers. Cuts back. Moser down to the 27-yard line. A gain of 13. First down, Knights.
That's a really good call by Middletown, because you know Walkersville is going to be looking for the run to Keeney. So what do? You go a little play action right, screen left to Moser. A nice block there by Palmer, and some good running by Brooks Moser.
Now back to Keeney. Keeney down to the 24. Pickup of 3.
And we got some pretty good popping going on the line there that time. Number 48, Nick Kaiser. Another one of the fine juniors for Walkersville. He got a good lick on Keeney that time.
Keeney again, gaping hole. He exploits it. He's all the way down to the 12. Keeney with 13 more yards. First down, Middletown.
Clock will stop while they move the chains. 1:35. Still lots of time here to go for the Knights. They are in excellent position.
So Middletown on the move. Minute 20 left until the half. They already lead at 14-0. Anderson with time, fires and completes the pass to Hartel. David Hartel is inside the 5. It'll be second down at about 3.
Robbie Dodd on the coverage, along with number 18, Chris Foreman, but not before. Anderson hooks up with Hartel. Nice grab by David. Very accurate throw by Chris Anderson. Now it's Keeney time.
Keeney time again here. Second and goal, or not goal, but second and short. Keeney first down. Keeney touchdown. Got the triple already in the first half. 3 touchdowns. Runs of 1, 2, and 3 yards. And the Knights now lead it 20-0.
That's just how you draw it up, Jeff. Forced the punt, called the smart timeout, got the ball inside midfield, mixed it up with the pass and the run. You get it down there into the area where your horse carries you through. Excellent effort by Middletown.
A 40-yard drive. O'Leary's point is good this time. His first of the game and his 36th of the year. 21-0 Knights with 47 ticks left on the clock in the first half.
Well, that's how good teams do it, Walk. They took advantage of a couple of miscues on the part of Walkersville, turned that into good field position, marched downfield. The result is what you see on your picture right now, a 3-yard touchdown run by Josh Keeney.
Keeney's got so much energy, he's all the way in the back of the end zone by the time he celebrates.
That kid don't get tired. He has a heck of a motor, let me tell you, because he has probably ran the ball at least 15, maybe 20 times here in the first half, and still asking for more.
And he's got to be over 150 yards already unofficially in the first half and 3 touchdowns. So he has a good shot to eclipse the 1,500-yard mark tonight. Only needs about 40, 50 more yards. Middletown will kick off again. Kyle Godwin's the kicker. He has it teed up at the 40. 47 seconds left in the half. Godwin's boot will come down to Mikos Parker at the 15. He lost control of it. Parker runs into a blocker, and he's down at the 25. A 10-yard return, an adventurous return for Parker, but he got 10 yards out of it.
Good effort that time by John Boyle on the special teams, getting down quickly and taking Parker down to the ground. That is not an easy thing to do.
40 seconds left. So Walkersville with not much time to work with here before the end of the half. They must be careful. They don't want Middletown to get another easy one, so they've got to protect that football.
That's exactly right, Walk. You don't want to give the ball up here on this part of the field.
So they'll keep it on the ground. Parker. Maybe a yard as Parker's body got twisted up. Was hit by 61 Terry Palmer and also Swanson.
Kyle Swanson from his linebacker position, very active, along with the big guy up front, Saragusa Palmer. That's a pretty good Ray Lewis Saragusa imitation that time.
Probably one more snap, under 10 seconds to play in the first half. This is Crawford twisting and turning. He's out to the 32-yard line. A gain of about 6 yards before Palmer made the stop, and that's the end of the first half. Middletown with Josh Keeney rumbling for more than 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. Leads arch rival Walkersville 21-0 at the half. We'll be back in a moment.
Where can you find all the latest information on entertainment, events, and local personalities in Frederick? Check out Cityscape, Cable 10's newest offering. Cityscape is Frederick County's lifestyle journal. We've combined the best elements of some of your favorite Cable 10 shows into one super package. Every week we'll show you the best Frederick has to offer in leisure time activities and meet some of our most interesting citizens. It all comes together on Cityscape, Mondays and Thursdays at 5:30, 7:30, and 10:30. Check your local listings for additional days and times. Find an old friend or make a new one on Making Friends. Tuesdays at 9 on Cable 10.
We're coming out.
Welcome back. Middletown with a 21-0 lead over Walkersville. Josh Keeney with most of the damage done. 3 touchdowns. 150-plus yards rushing. It's senior night. See that banner there? It says, "Congratulations, Senior Knights defeat the Lions." They're on their way to doing that at the moment. And Jay, Walkersville's got to find a way to try to stop Josh Keeney in the second half if they want to have any shot at winning this game.
Well, Jeff, anybody that plays Middletown has been searching all year long.
Nobody has the formula.
Right, for a way to stop Josh Keeney, and nobody's just been able to come up with it thus far this year in 9.5 games. This kid has just run ramshot over everyone, and he's getting better and better, as are these Middletown Knights. So I don't know. I mean, you know, as I commented a couple of times in the first half, it takes more than one player to get him down. I think there was only one, possibly two occasions in that first half of play where one Walkersville Lion tackler, Collette, early in the first quarter brought him down. But other than that, he requires lots of defenders to get him down. He is very strong. He continues to run hard after he's hit. He gets those extra effort yards about as well as anybody we've seen all season long. So he is indeed an outstanding running back. And when you have him, that terrific offensive line that they have, the fact that Anderson is a very capable passer with some very talented receivers, and last but not least, the great defensive unit that Middletown has. This is a complete team. I know at one point during the season, Coach Ambrose talked about the fact that he thought this may be one of the more complete and balanced units of any of his Middletown Knight teams. And of course, Tim's been up here for over 25 years, so that's comparing a lot. But this year's edition of the Knights are really, really good and look like they could very well be a very formidable force as we move into the state playoffs.
Well, if the Knights can hang on and win this one, they would be 10-0 on the season. That would be the fourth time since the beginning of the 1990 season. They had 3 times in the 90s where they won 10 games and were undefeated. The last time was 1999. And last year they had the off season where they lost 4 games. I mean, for them, an off season, 6-4. As Jay mentioned, they won 6 of their last 7 last year. They carried that momentum into this year. A lot of those players last year were juniors. They got a lot of experience playing last year, going 6-4 this year. There's a lot of seniors out there. We've seen them tonight here at senior night being announced. And the Knights putting it all together this season. So as the festivities continue here at senior night at halftime, we'll take a break, and when we come back, third quarter action, it's Middletown leading Walkersville 21-0.
Picture this. Ann Smith driving to see her sister in Texas, where everything's bigger, including the... Ann's first call was to me, her nationwide agent, because she knows I'm always here to help. You're covered.
Well, yeehaw.
Call someone who cares. A nationwide agent. Nationwide. On your side.
To improve the picture of your life, contact Bruce Finch, Sharon Davidson, and James Barger in Frederick, and Chester Zintz Jr. in Thurmont.
Every time I'm in Frederick, I watch Sidelines with Jake Holmes.
Welcome back, Middletown, with a 21-0 lead at the half. Walkersville will get the football to start the second stanza. Lions showed that they could move the ball on a couple of their drives in the first half. But near the end of the half, the Middletown defense got very tough. From the 35, Mikos Parker. Parker out to the 43. 9-yard return, so Walkersville will have excellent operating position to start the second half. The 44-yard line, they weren't able to get that running game going consistently, Jay, after Crawford went out with that injury. It seemed like their offense seemed to turn sour after that. He only had, I think, 1 carry after he got shaken up.
Well, he's such an important part of the offense, Jeff, that his absence is going to be felt. So he is back in the game now. Walkersville has great field position. That was a short kick. Let's see if they can't get something going here. They're down 3 touchdowns. It seems like they should be down a lot more, but they're hanging around.
Their defense stopped Middletown twice inside the red zone. Miscommunication, Crawford and the correct Genovese, and it'll be a loss of a yard on the play. Cutsale made the stop. He's number 20, changed his number from 72, so he could be the backup fullback, replacing Ben Nelson if necessary.
A little bit of a miscue there, the handoff between Pete Genovese and Antoine Crawford that time. And once again, Middletown is such a good team that they don't need any extra help. You need to be playing at a high level if you expect to be successful against the Knights.
2nd down and 11. Genovese with the quick pass out to Crawford. Incomplete. Be considered a pass, not a lateral, because it was past the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd down and 11.
Coverage at time by number 23. Adam Ellison for the Knights. Adam is a 5'9", 165-pound junior. This is a team that is comprised mostly of seniors. There are a lot of 12th graders. Very experienced team, but there is some talent at the underclass level, and certainly Adam is one of them.
As the Lions try to convert on a 3rd down. Movement on the line. See which way this goes. Appears to be offsides against the Knights. And that'll move it 5 yards closer for Walkersville, so it'll be 3rd down and 6.
Have not been a lot of penalties here this evening, Walker.
Just a few.
Pretty crisply played game in that regard. And again, we're in game 10. So you know, by this time, you would kind of think, hey, we sort of had this down, and we're not going to make the silly mistakes. You know, you can't get away from errors in total. Look at this.
4 receivers to the left side for Walkersville.
Think they're going to throw, Walker?
It appears. Blockers out in front for Crawford. Loose football.
I think Walkersville may have it. No, Middletown's got it.
Middletown football. Recovery made by Matt Staub, and Middletown's in business in Walkersville territory.
Well, Matt feels a whole lot better because he was a guy that got called for the penalty of the play before, but this is good hustle by Staub because he comes from all the way over from the other side of the field, and now it's just a scramble for the ball, and who's going to come up with it? Matt Staub does, and once again, you don't want to give Middletown extra chances.
Kyle Swanson may have caused that fumble, Jay. He got the arm in there. Keeney, probably his shortest gain of the night, 1 yard.
He just took the words out of my mouth. That was not a long run for Josh Keeney. It was announced at the half that Keeney has now established a new single season record for rushing touchdowns. He has 21. Surpassing John Tobery, who was an outstanding back here at Middletown.
2nd down and 9 for Middletown. Keeney plunges forward down to the 38. He may have enough for a 1st down, depending on the spot.
Well, that no doubt that record that Keeney set earlier in the first half is the first of lots of records that this young man could likely set before his playing days are over here at Middletown. He is only 11th grader, so he has another entire season ahead of him next year, and of course, hopefully, we'll have a lot of football left yet this year.
Play is stopped, 3rd down and short coming up for Middletown, 3rd and about a yard. Dustin Kolb, number 12, back into the lineup. Had a number of sophomores called up to the varsity, Jay. Dustin Kolb is one of them, number 12. Dan Drosenstock, number 31, who was in on that last tackle. And Tony Fiametta, number 8. Quick pass, Brooks Moser. Ran into his own player. He's down at the 25. First down. Middletown on a 3rd and 1 goes to the air, and they convert.
Brooks is kind of laughing that time. I think Hartel knocked him down, his own player, or he may have been able to gain some more yards. Just a quick look-in pass to Brooks Moser. And right here, he bumps into Hartel, knocks Hartel down, and sort of gets tangled up himself. But not before he picks up another Middletown first down.
First down at the 25 of Walkersville. Anderson hands off to Keeney again. He breaks loose. Keeney carrying tacklers with him down to the 10. Another 15-yard gain for Josh Keeney and a first down.
Well, once again, with Josh Keeney, the first hit is rarely going to bring him down. It takes 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. This kid has great ability to continue to go north-south after absorbing a hit. And that time drug a number of would-be Lion tacklers with him on his way to a first down.
Ball just outside the 10. They can get a first down without scoring. And Keeney tumbles forward down to the 5. So another 5-yard gain for Josh Keeney as he continues to churn up the yardage.
6 yards to go.
Well, he had 1,314 yards coming into tonight. We've got him unofficially. He's got to be at about 100.5. So he
maybe
is
103/4.
He is pushing. Got to be getting close to that 1,500-yard mark for the season, and that is a tremendous effort.
Roll out by Anderson. The pitch to Keeney. Dodd trying to bring him down. Can't do it. Touchdown, Keeney. A 6-yard TD run for Keeney, his 4th of the night, all inside the 10. He's had a 2-yard run, a 1-yard run, a 3-yard scamper, and now scores from 6 yards out. His 4th touchdown of the night, 22nd on the year. It's 27-0.
Well, most of his work has come inside the tackles. That time, a little change of pace with the pitch, and shows his elusiveness and his ability to get into that end zone once again.
They take advantage of the fumble by Walkersville. And O'Leary makes it 28-0. 8:14 left, 3rd quarter. Middletown increases the lead to 28-0. And the ground game has just been very proficient tonight and dominating. They haven't really had to use Anderson, who's one of the best passers around.
Well, watch the quick pitch. Once again, good blocking, but he evades Robbie Dodd's tackle here, puts that head down, and this kid's got a nose for the end zone, no doubt about it. He is quite a finisher.
And again, one guy can't bring him down.
No, he is a tough guy to bring down if you only have one tackle. And you know, as we talked about throughout the game, his partner in crime, Scott Harshman, not playing because of the injury, and Harshman, a very fine runner in his own right, but an outstanding blocker. But Ben Nelson has stepped in, as has Ryan Cutsale, thrown some great blocks for Keeney, and Josh has really done the rest.
Kyle Godwin's kick. Parker. Collision at the 30-yard line. 15-yard return for Mikos. Stop made by Jason Topoldos. And someone appears to be shaken up.
Well, that was a pretty good hit out there, but looks like everybody's moving around pretty well. I think Matt Staub was in on that play as well. But good special teams play by the Middletown Knights, and once again, don't forget, Walkersville is like a handoff away from busting 60, 70 yards.
First down from the 31, Genovese. Fluke on the chase. Genovese scrambles straight ahead out to the 34. Gain of 3 yards. Moser and Cutsale collaborate on the tackle.
Well, nice, again, good effort by the defense. Chris Fluke chased Pete out of the pocket, forced him into the middle. Staub, you see what Staub is doing to the outside there? He is forcing the play inside, which is exactly what he has to do. Great containment by Staub that time, and then allowing Matt Johnson and company to make the tackle.
And also, Staub tied up 2 blockers, so somebody had to be free. Crawford in the backfield, nailed by Cutsail. A loss on the play.
I said Matt Johnson before. That's right, they've changed numbers on us. That would be Ryan Cutsail, number 20.
Gain of 2, third down, 8.
Excellent play by Cutsail.
Actually, that was a gain of 2 yards, so it'll be 3rd down and 8. Need to get to the 41.
Tough going for the Lions here tonight. Genovese probably has to go up top.
Tries to, but he's down by Staub all the way back at the 21-yard line. A loss of 11.
And you see, Middletown knows what the Lions have to do, and so they can just come full throttle. They don't really have to hold back. And Staub, from his linebacker position, who has been very active here tonight, gets by a pair of blockers and takes Pete Genovese down to the ground.
So 4th down, Reed on to punt. 2 Knights standing at the 50, so again they'll have great field position. High snap, Reed fumbles it. Middletown's going to have it inside the 10, 1st and goal.
Well,
recovery made by Staub.
Boys,
no matter who recovered it, still was going to be Middletown football.
As Staub had a terrific last 5 minutes, Jeff. He recovered the fumble the series before, and now recovers the fumble here on the errant snap. Matt Staub stepping up big for the Knights, and Middletown, you really like their chances from cashing in here. They don't miss too many red zone opportunities.
Penalty marker down before the play gets started. It'll go against Walkersville Lions, so the infraction will move it even closer for Middletown. Half the distance will move it to the 4.
And
so still 1st and goal.
As I've said probably too many times already this evening, you don't want to give these guys extra chances.
No freebies.
That's right.
Second back through, flag in the backfield of the defense. Ball carried by
It was Nelson.
42.
Ben Nelson getting just his 2nd carry of the night. He gained a yard, but it's not going to count. Holding against Middletown.
Well, one of the few infractions this evening, other than a procedural call here or there, it's the first time we've had anything of substance called.
Ball on the 13-yard line.
Still excellent field position for the Knights, and when Mr. Keeney gets in this area of the field, he seems to know what to do.
Fake to Keeney. Anderson to the air. Short. Intended for Nelson.
Incomplete. Back on the defense's 50, Root.
And if you're Walkersville, you have to be so, Chris not too happy with himself. He thought he had a shot to complete that, just wasn't able to do it. If you're Walkersville, you have to be so aware of the threat to run that option passing and ball faking here really does buy you some time. And it's one of the luxuries of being able to run the football well. It usually does help your passing.
3rd down. Keeney going for number 5. Touchdown. Josh Keeney with his 5th touchdown of the night. This one covering 13 yards, his longest TD run of the night. And Middletown leads at 34-zip.
Well, they kind of toyed around there going with Nelson and then secondly the pass, but when it comes down to the crunch time, you go to the man.
They figured 2 plays, we didn't get it. Okay, we can always give it to Josh.
That's right. Big point here because this would be a 35-point lead.
Kicks up, kick is.
O'Leary adds the point. 35-0. Now the clock will continue to roll. You see the signal from the officials to keep the clock running in high school football. When a team gets a 35-point lead, the clock will roll. And Keeney has scored 5 touchdowns. Here's the latest.
Look at the roll in here. Some great blocking. Again, you know, Josh Keeney does a sensational job of running, but his efforts are made so much more easy by the fact that this team blocks exceptionally well. That time Nelson had a good block, Moser had a good block, and in the interior of that line, they seemingly block well every time. Terry Palmer had a nice block. So credit Josh Keeney for being an outstanding runner, and he takes hits and he continues to pick up yards, but a lot of the time Keeney is into the secondary before he is even touched by an opponent, and that's because of the sensational blocking of this Middletown offense.
So still 4.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Middletown with 2 scores here in the third, both by Keeney. And they take advantage of the fumble by Walkersville. The last 2 touchdowns have been a result of turnovers by the Lions. That one they only had to go 8 yards on the drive. Mikos Parker. Parker out to the 41-yard line, so good return for Mikos Parker.
Johnny Boyle with another special team stop, but Mikos Parker does give Walkersville fine field position. Nice return by the junior running back. Right now things aren't going so well for the Lions, but again, this is a very young team, very talented at the skill positions, and
most of them will be back next year.
And they will be, I think, a force to be reckoned with next year.
Here's Crawford, the sophomore, and he is just derailed by Cutsale. And Palmer was also there.
Well, things getting nasty inside now, Jeff. Very nasty inside as Walkersville continues to try to find where's the hole. As you can see, there is no hole here. Look at the great penetration on the part of the Middletown defense, and then a host of tacklers led by Cutsale. Staub once again in on that play. Very active here tonight, particularly in the third quarter.
Second down and 12 after the loss of 2. Genovese to the air. Nobody home. It'll be third down.
Pete looking for Matt Brown that time. Matt, pretty big target at 6'4", and Genovese had a little time to throw, but not a lot. He has been pressured much of the evening by this defensive front unit of Middletown.
So third down and long for the Lions.
Parker up the middle.
Parker with nowhere to run. Staub in the middle of the pack.
Cutsale 20.
Cutsale.
Like Godwin, 75 in on that stop as well. Kyle, one of the all-star selections for Middletown, one of the premier linemen in the state of Maryland. Big kid at 6'1", 260 pounds. Will probably be able to play at the next level.
Lions will kick. Jim Reed. O'Leary from the 36. O'Leary down at the 44. 8-yard return for